Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. SURESH Kumar PUROHIT, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, Engineering College, Bikaner. Today, we will discuss about the drugs. As we know that drugs are very important for us, drugs are very useful to reduce our various types of diseases, and drugs may be defined as the chemical substances that affect or alter the physiology and psychology of living organisms like human beings, animals, and other microbes. As we know that proteins play an important role in our body is largely controlled by the various types of proteins. Proteins exist as many different forms in our body and have different works. Each protein has a specific function and is quite specific to the cell. Once the drug is bound to a protein, it exerts a therapeutic effect on the body. This is known as pharmacodynamics of a drug. Some important drugs. Students, as we know that there are so many drugs which are used as medicine, but here we will discuss only two drugs, that is paracetamol and aspirin. Both these drugs are included in the syllabus of engineering chemistry of BTech first year in the Bikaner Technical Institute, Bikaner. Now we start the first drug, that is paracetamol. Paracetamol is also known as acetaminophen and it is a para-aminophenol derivative with analgesic and antipyretic activities. What do you mean by analgesic? We know that drugs which are used to relieve the pain are analgesic, and antipyretic drugs, those drugs which are used to relieve the fever. So both characters are very important. Now the structure of paracetamol. This is the structure of paracetamol. We can see in this structure that OH group and NHCOCH3 groups are present at the para position on benzene ring, and its IUPAC name is N,4-hydroxyphenol acetamide. Paracetamol. Synthesis of paracetamol. This is very important point. Paracetamol can be synthesized in 3 steps. We can see step first, step second, and step third. In step first, 2 isomeric nitrophenols have been synthesized by the nitration of phenol. Second step, separation of 2 isomeric nitrophenols by steam distillation, and in third step, 4-nitrophenol is reduced into 4-aminophenol and it converted into paracetamol by acylation. This is the root of paracetamol. As we seen in previous slide that 2 isomeric nitrophenols, that is 2-nitrophenol and 4-nitrophenol are obtained by the nitration of phenol. In this step, phenol is react with sodium nitrate in the presence of dilute H2SO4. Then in second step, these isomers are separated by steam distillation in which 4-nitrophenol is distilled first, and in the last step this 4-nitrophenol is reduced into 4-aminophenol by the help of sodium borohydride, and then it further converted into paracetamol by acylation. This acylation is carried out by the acetic anhydride as we seen in the reactions. Now what are the properties of paracetamol? Paracetamol is white crystalline powder which is very less soluble in water but more soluble in ethyl alcohol. Its molecular formula is C8H9NO2. Its boiling point is 420 degrees centigrade and its molecular mass is 151.163 gram per mole. Now what are the uses of paracetamol? However, there are so many uses of paracetamol, but important uses are described here. Paracetamol is a pain reliever and a fever reducer drug. However, the exact mechanism of its activity is not known. Paracetamol is used to treat many conditions such as headache, cold, fever, muscular pain, arthritis and backache. Now, second drug is aspirin. Aspirin is also known as acetyl salicylic acid and it is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, that is NSAID. NSAID means this is not steroid and act as analgesic, antipyretic and anti-inflammatory drug. As we know that analgesic drug relieve the pain, antipyretic relieve the fever and anti-inflammatory drugs are used to reduce the inflammation. This is the structure of aspirin. We can see that there are two groups. First is CWH group and other is acetoxy group, which are present ortho position of the benzene ring, and its IUPAC name is 2-acetoxy benzoic acid. Then synthesis of aspirin. Aspirin may be synthesized by the esterification of salicylic acid. In this process, salicylic acid is heated with acetic anhydride. We can see here, this is the route of synthesis of aspirin. In this reaction, acetic acid is also formed as a byproduct. Now, what are the properties of aspirin? Like paracetamol, it is also white crystalline powder and less soluble in water and soluble in ethyl alcohol. Its molecular formula is C9H8O4 and its boiling point is 136 degrees centigrade and molecular mass is 180.158 gram per mole. Now, aspirin is very important drug, is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, that is NSAID, and it is a pain reliever, fever reducer and anti-inflammatory drug. Aspirin is used to treat many conditions such as headache, period pain, arthritis, backache, cold and fevers. Thank you very much.